welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics of the day and the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense and just the right amount of sarcasm by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, today is Wednesday, October 12th. I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You can also find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. Please search Money Chat Now and Larry Steinhouse on Spotify, and then you can follow me there as well. And if you'd like to connect to me personally, by the way, you can go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com. And there you will find my social media connections, my email, and my text message information. That's contactlarry.com. I found it funny that somebody who watches the show reached out to me to blast Mastriano. I'm kind of curious to know if that was Ken the Democrat. Well, anyway, I guess we'll find out. All right, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And by the way, you can also find Money Chat Now and the Larry Steinhouse Show on Spotify, so please go there and subscribe as well. Of course, you can comment live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and please say hi so I know you're watching. I don't know you're watching unless you say hi, so especially if you're new to the show or if it's your first time, please say hi, let me know. And I'll even say hi back. As a matter of fact, got a bunch of people to say hi to right now. We got James coming in. We got Tom. We got my wife, Linda, coming in. We got John coming in. We got Jose coming in from YouTube. And we have Charles coming in. Thanks so much. And, Ken the Democrat. There he is. Everybody say hi to the Democrat. And we got James also coming in from YouTube. Thanks, guys. I totally appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Hey, don't forget, if you become a fan of the page on Facebook, the Money Chat Now page on Facebook, then you will be able to watch the show even when I'm on Facebook jail because, I go to Facebook jail all the time. All right, so please go to the Money Chat Now page and like it so that you can never miss a show. All right, on today's show, of course, we're going to be talking about the market recap. We're going to be talking about silly Biden, economics ain't for kids. We're going to be talking about Uber and Lyft troubles and Social Security benefits. So this is going to be a fun show today. I promise you it'll be a great one. All right, we also have, let's go, we got I want to remind you that Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to Investor Schooling. There you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. Hey, I want to thank some people for sharing the show again yesterday. I appreciate it. I saw Betsy shared it, and Peter shared it, and Linda shared it. I think Mike shared it as well, and I think Barbara shared it. So thank you so much. I totally appreciate you guys. So if you're watching the show, please hit the share button under the video and share it on your timeline in a group that you might feel would benefit from it. I totally appreciate that. All right, real quick before we get into the recap. Hey, I was in Barnes & Noble yesterday, and I saw my book there. I was just so excited. It's so cool to go into a bookstore and actually see your book. I saw my book there. I don't know if you guys saw it. I posted it on Facebook, so my book Money Hacks is available. And really cool, I actually just noticed that Dave Hancock just came on and said hi. Dave Hancock is my publisher, so if you guys want to say hello to Dave Hancock, thank him for being such a great publisher and making sure that book got into Barnes & Noble. I really appreciate it. He's online watching the show right now, and if you could see him, everybody thank him. Thank you so much, Dave. All right, let's talk about what happened yesterday. Have you guys ever heard the statement that the word fear, spelled F-E-A-R, stands for false evidence appearing real? Well, that's what's happening to us this week, last week, and basically, I guess, the whole week of September as well. The market is so fearful that the Fed will raise interest rates 75 basis points without any real evidence that they are just panicked into selling and not buying. All I see are good stocks being beaten down. Meta, I can't believe Meta was down to 128. 128? That's ridiculous. It's a bargain at that price. This stock is trading at a multiple of about 10. That means it's selling for 10 times earnings. For a stock like this that has traded in 3-digit multiples in the past, to be this low is insane. I don't know what happened to earnings season being the catalyst that drives stocks up. The stock market is clearly broken. It looks like sabotage, and Jerome Powell is the saboteur. Meta earnings is on the 26th, and the stock should have easily floated to 150 by now. But instead, it just keeps dropping. If it hits another 52-week low, it actually hit another 52-week low yesterday, and that's awful. Even Apple seems to be holding ground at 140. It's another stock that usually pops before earnings, and it just isn't. This stock has a multiple of 22, So maybe it's right about what it's worth, but Meta definitely doesn't make any sense at a 10 times multiple. The Meta problem may be simply that Zuckerberg is still screwing around with the company's profits, creating the Meta useless verse. By the way, did you guys buy your virtual house next to Snoop Dogg yet? Oh man, what a waste that was. They actually introduced a new headset yesterday that sells for about $1,500. This is almost 3 times the price of the old headset, and frankly, it's going to be a non-seller. No one cares anymore. The headset for $1,000 more than the old one has an updated chip. Yep, it has an updated chip, so you can see the Meta useless verse a little more clearly. I guess if you use the new headset to look at your credit card bill after buying this, you could see how bad of a mistake it was. Part of Meta's drop over 5 points yesterday was basically due to a boo from the audience about this product being introduced. Boo! Zuckerberg, boo! Maybe he will go back to doing what he once did best and make Facebook a platform that allowed free speech. Or better yet, maybe the board of directors of Meta will boot his ass off into the metaverse and let him retire next to a virtual lake or something. Today, anyway, the producer price report will be released. We will also see minutes from the Fed report being released today. Investors will look at these as a bellwether to try to guess what the Fed will do. Today will be the consumer price index, referred to the CPI report. This report is used as an inflation indicator. That is tomorrow. On Friday, September's retail sale will also give further insight into consumption. So we wait for these reports, and we wait for the market to settle down. Don't forget that the Fed rate is now 3.25%, and it will likely go to 4% before the Fed slows down. They can also do it in 1 step or 2 steps. Hopefully, they'll do it in 2 steps with a 50-point basis increase for November and then 25 for December. I'm hoping that's what they do. Remember that this number is not the bond rate. The Fed rate is the rate in which it lends money to the banks. For example, if the Fed charges 4% to a bank, the bank might charge 7 or 8% to the public for a mortgage loan. The 30-year bond rate is the rate you can get if you invest in Treasury notes. They are different, and they have different effects on the market. You're seeing mortgage interest rates rising, and now the average rate is about 7%. Wow. That's because the Fed rate increased to the bank. Expect 7 or 8% to be the new normal. Let's look at the futures. Let's take a look at and see what Wall Street has in store for us today. Right now, it looks like the Dow is up 160, and it looks like the S&P is up 30, and the Nasdaq is up 106. So it's not bad. Maybe we'll get something good today. I hope it just stays above 29,000. All right, real quick, I got a whole bunch of other people joining us. We've got Ken. Actually, it looks like the only person who joined us since is Rob and my brother Seth. Thank you. I'm just looking at some of this stuff here. And Dave says he's a proud publisher. All right, cool. All right, let's talk about silly Biden. Economics ain't for kids. How often can this sitting non-elected president go on talking about and be wrong about almost everything? He has been wrong about immigration, or should I say border crashers. He has been wrong about oil and gas prices. He has been wrong about climate, wrong about scamdemic virus, wrong about the Constitution, wrong about Afghanistan, wrong about Russia, and so on. So now he has the nerve to discuss the possibility of a recession, that there will be no recession, so he can be wrong on that too. In an interview on CNN, Biden said, and I quote, I don't think there will be a recession, and if it is, it'll be a very slight recession. That is, we'll move down slightly. The arrogant old fool continued with his statement. Every 6 months they say this. Every 6 months they look down at the next 6 months and say what's going to happen. Biden said in an interview with Jake Tapper on CNN. It aired yesterday. Well, so far, Biden, every 6 months they've been right, but okay, that's beside the point. Now, I know none of you watch it, but I'm sure also that not many liberals watch it either because CNN ratings have been tanking. With this statement, Joe Biden is now contradicting all of the great economists, right? The doddering fool actually believes there won't be a recession. The funny part is that the only way that this might be true is if we flip the House and Senate red and keep him from his economic destruction of this country. That would be the only way the recession would be, as he puts it, a slight recession. It amazes me how out of touch with reality this guy is. Biden in the interview acknowledged that the U.S. has real problems, but credited legislation passed under his administration, like the Inflation Reduction Act, with putting the United States in a better position than any other major country in the world economically and politically. He actually said the Inflation Reduction Act puts us in a better place? I can't believe this thing was actually called the Inflation Reduction Act when it's going to be the cause of, inflation and not reduce it at all. This bill is filled with spending on climate regulations, including fines and taxes on corporations. Speaking of taxes on corporations, this bill now has taxes and automatically taxes corporations at a minimum of 15%. So who do you think pays those taxes? The consumer, of course. That's a complete antonym of reduction. The bill should be named the Inflation Enlargement Act. The only thing that this bill could do is the only thing that this bill can save money on is the Medicare change in prescription drugs. So when you're paying $25 for your medication, but you can't afford your house payments anymore, Biden can smile and say, see, inflation reduction. With his track record of Biden's non-leadership and his track record of being wrong on everything, we are in big trouble if he's saying we aren't going into a recession. Look for it to start in February. Meanwhile, we have Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen saying that the U.S. economy was doing very well. From the perspective of the United States, I think the United States is doing very well, she said. Those are her words. Yes, Janet, we're doing well. We're not starving and we have roofs over our heads. We are still spending and we still have jobs. Well, at least you guys do. I don't get paid for this. But getting back to Yellen, yes, we are doing well, unless, of course, you look at the average person's savings or 401k or how much debt people are now in trying to keep up with inflation and interest rate hikes. Yellen, we aren't in the streets begging for food, but we ain't doing so well, and it is definitely going to get worse. I'm truly believing they needed these sound bites and quotes to hope to fool the nation into thinking there's nothing to worry about so the undecided voters would vote blue. Are people really that gullible? Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about the people driving in their car alone with masks on. No, Janet, we are not doing well, and we are definitely not doing well as we were when Trump was in office. All right, look, before we take a commercial break, let's all remind ourselves and let's say the logo. Let's go, Brandon. See you guys in a minute.
Okay, so you thought about buying and selling real estate. You've thought about investing in the stock market, but don't know where to start. Well, what if you could find a place to unlock strategies to master both real estate and the stock market, all without the headache? That place is Investor Schooling, hosted by Larry Steinhouse, an expert in real estate, financial literacy, and the ins and outs of the stock market. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate, and you will learn mastery of stock techniques such as options and covered calls. You will even get a chance to ask one of your burning questions to the stock options sultan, the master of picks and plays. Call 866-424-2829 for free information and receive a complimentary pass to attend classes, or register online at investorschooling.com. Don't delay. These passes are limited. So what are you waiting for? Call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. Or visit investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to welcome you back to the show. We are here live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And you can also find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. Please search Money Chat Now and Larry Steinhouse on Spotify. Like and subscribe there as well. And by the way, if you'd like to connect with me, please go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com. And there you'll find my social media connections, my email, and my text message information as well. That's contactlarry.com. All right, real quick, the market is up 150. At least the futures are up 150. The S&P is up 26. And the NASDAQ is up 102. We talked about silly Biden economics ain't for kids. Come on, Biden, we're going into recession. It's okay. Just admit it. Why don't you say something positive? It's like, hey, we can help you through it instead of stupid stuff like you're saying. Coming up, we got Uber and Lyft troubles, and we got Social Security benefits. You guys want to hear about this? And, of course, today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button yet? Come on, everybody, hit that like button right now. Hit that share button. Leave me a comment and say hi if you haven't already. Leave me a comment is the only way I know you're watching. So if you leave a comment, I know you're watching. Please share and like as well. And don't forget to order my new book. David Hancock's going to make a whole bunch of money if you order my new book. So one of my new book, Money Hacks, and if you ordered it, please leave a review on Amazon. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of good reviews on there, and if you'd like, please leave one as well. Real quick, couple of people coming in online. We got the blue pill coming back in, and we got another James coming back in too. And somebody said something here that I thought was really funny. I don't know if I can be able to find it. So here it is. So Ken the Democrat says, have you seen inflation in other countries? I don't understand why everybody brings this up all the time. Who cares what the inflation is in other countries? I care about this country. Just stop it. Stop comparing us to other countries. Compare us to us. Compare us to us and what we used to be. All right, let's get into Uber and Lyft. Yesterday, both Uber and Lyft dropped in price when the Biden administration again signaled the possibility that the drivers for both Uber and Lyft may no longer be classified as independent workers, but instead as employees. It often amazes me how dumb the average Democrat really is when it comes to entrepreneurship. Okay, it actually amazes me how dumb the average Democrat is on many topics, like freedom, economics, math, and, even the Constitution. But let me get back to the story about Uber and Lyft. So Uber started this rideshare company, and people who needed for people who needed a little extra money, and it was like a godsend to them. It allowed the average person to become in charge of their financial situation by taking their car and driving it to pick up someone who needed a ride and dropping them off at their destination. Honestly, it was a brilliant idea for all people involved. It was a win-win-win. The company who created it made money. The driver who signed up to be a driver with very little qualifications made money when and if they wanted to. And finally, the consumer gets to ride in a nice, clean vehicle with a nice driver. And it's just really, really nice. So it's a win-win-win. So what could screw this up? Oh, yeah, the government. This rideshare program made anyone an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs like to be independent. They like to take care of their own expenses. They take care of their own taxes. And frankly, anyone who is on a 1099 income, better known as an independent contractor, often has many write-offs that employees are not entitled to. Independent contractors usually do much better than employees at the same rate of pay. Let me explain where this is going. If you're a company and you hire someone to perform a function in your business, in most cases that person is considered an employee. Employees have certain rights as employees, such as minimum wage, overtime, and possibly health insurance benefits. The employee must also have certain taxes withdrawn from their pay, and the employer must match their Social Security tax. The employer also needs to pay for unemployment insurance funds and workman's compensation insurance. As you may have already concluded, paying someone $15 an hour on the books can cost about $20 an hour to the employer. There's another classification of worker called an independent contractor. These workers are paid an amount and the employer has no other obligations, like the insurance or Social Security taxes that we mentioned above. You would assume that every employer would just want to hire all of their employees as independent contractors. But the IRS and the government aren't stupid. All right, well, they are, but they do have a distinct ruling on who can be an employee and who can be an independent contractor. If you try to fool them and hire what they identify as an employee and pay them as a contractor, you will be facing major fines and possible labor law violations. The IRS has come up with several qualification tests for the difference between an employee and an independent contractor. The most important part of this test basically comes from the relationship of the person doing the work with the employer. Some of the simple test rules say that a contractor has to be able to set their own schedule and cannot be forced to a set schedule. Another rule is that the person doing the work needs to show that they're active in working for others or pursuing working for others. They are not bound to one job at one location. These are some of the tests, but here is one big one that's getting sticky. And what it comes down to is the length of the relationship of the worker to the company. It could be said that if a person is working for the same company for a prolonged period of time, that person should have and should be classified as an employee. This is where Uber and Lyft and things like DoorDash and stuff like that are running into problems with local Democrat prosperity-killing states and now possibly the prosperity-killing government. Governor Useless in California tried to classify all Uber and Lyft drivers as employees in an effort to steal their tax money. I think he just needed a raise to get more hair gel and maybe some more tooth polish. But anyway, luckily for the drivers and the company, it was overruled. But now the government and the IRS are revising this classification once again. Some feel that the Uber and Lyft drivers should be classified as employees. Well, some people I'm talking to, of course, are Democrats. Those are the Democrats want this. Trump had protections in place for these drivers and for real independent contractors, but in an effort to continue to undo everything good that Trump did to this country or for this country, Biden has reversed some of those protections. He's also proposing new rules of classification that may make Uber drivers employees, basically destroying the entire business ride-sharing model. The drivers don't want this. The company doesn't want this, and the general public likes ride-sharing companies. So why do it? The answer is real simple, so the greedy Democrats can take away the money and the joy of a great concept. Of course, both stocks, Uber and Lyft, dropped significantly yesterday on the news. Both of these stocks have been beaten up. By the way, I think Uber is still a better play, but as soon as all this settles, both of these companies will recover nicely, and honestly, Uber's going to just win anyway because they're going to have all autonomous cars, so it doesn't really matter. And all these people that the government wants to screw aren't even going to be working anymore. All right, let's talk about screwing more people. Let's talk about Social Security benefits. Yep, it's that time again. It's time for the cost of living increase from your Social Security benefits team. Social Security makes an annual cost of living adjustment, COLA, to your benefit based on inflation, if any there is, right? So last year we had major inflation, so the cost of living increase, the COLA increase for 2022 was 5.9%. That was the largest in 39 years, boosting the average retirement benefit an additional $92 a month. And now it looks like for 2023, it looks like the next COLA increase will be about 8.7%. Whew. This is going to be the largest increase in decades, but I have to tell you, it's not the largest increase on record. In 1980, the COLA increase was a whopping 14.3%, and in 81, it was 11.2%. Holy moly, that's nuts! Normal times, we see about a 1.5% to 2% increase. The estimate for the year of 8.7% is based on a subset of CPI data known as the Consumer Price Index for urban earners and clerical workers, or the CPI-W. So it's based on, so if you guys want to look it up, the CPI-W is the number. The Social Security Administration uses that measurement to determine COLA each year. The people receiving Social Security checks will get a nicely anticipated raise next year, but how will it affect Social Security Fund? A major problem with this increase is going to be a recession, and it may make the fund insolvent. Social Security payments longevity are based on calculations of how much money is going into the system from current workers. If there's a recession, less people will be working, and the fund may run out of money. The other interesting note is that the Social Security payment don't decrease, they only increase. That means if we go into a recession and prices decrease, that would mean that there might be a surplus of money going to people collecting Social Security. Now, this ain't a bad thing, of course. In fact, I'm looking at it as an opportunity. It would mean that boomers like me would have more disposable income. Look for investments in companies that boomers would buy products from. All right, we're running out of time, so let's take a break here. I'll see you guys in a minute, and we'll be back with some plays. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and one of the most misunderstood things in America is money. That's why I've written this book. It's called Money Hacks, because everything you think you know about money is wrong. And I'm telling you, everything you think you know about money is wrong. When you read this book, you will learn things about money that you did not know. You will even learn if money can buy you happiness. I have a full chapter dedicated to that. You're going to definitely want to read that. I talk about how to use other people's money to buy real estate. I talk about how to save more money, and I even talk about how to rebuild your credit score in this book. There are 22 amazing chapters in this book. This book is now available everywhere. It's available on Amazon. It's available on barnesandnoble.com. And you can order this book right now, and you'll have it in 2 days, and you'll start learning things about money that you never knew before. So order the book right now. Go to Amazon, go to barnesandnoble.com, and order the book, Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And if you'd like to be a sponsor of the show, your name and product can be delivered to hundreds of loyal listeners and watchers of the show. As you know, we're expanding our base every day. And if you'd like to get your product or service out to my audience and help to keep the show on the air, I'd love to have you as a sponsor. Just reach out to me in Messenger or contact me at contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com. So I don't understand. So Johnson Aid sits there and insults me in the comments, but he watches the show. That's pretty good. Thanks, Johnson. I appreciate it. By the way, obviously that's not his real name, and I call him Blue Pill because his name is Johnson Aid. You guys could put that one together if you like. All right, by the way, we also have a Spotify channel. That's right. You can go and subscribe to the channel and listen to all the reports. They're broken out for your enjoyment. So if you like that last report, Bill, I can't believe Bill just came in and said he's late again. I just did an entire section on Uber and Lyft. You should go back and listen to it. All right, so far we've been discussing, of course, the market recap. The futures are up 124. The S&P is up 24, and the NASDAQ is up 95. We talked about silly Biden. He has no freaking clue. He said there's no recession coming. He's out of his freaking mind. But that's okay. He's out of his mind. He doesn't even know what I'm not even sure if he knows what he had for breakfast this morning. All right, we also talked about Uber and Lyft's troubles, and we talked about Social Security and what to expect. Coming up, we have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button yet? Did you guys hit that share button yet? Come on, Bill. Hey, Bill, if you're going to watch the show late, at least hit the share button. Tell all your friends about the show. Let them know it's both entertaining and educational. Please share it on your page or in groups you feel will also enjoy the show. All right, let's get into it. So today, it looks like it's going to be another exciting day. We'll be waiting for the Fed minutes to signal if Powell will be raising interest rates too much, again, or not. Wall Street will interpret the data, and then all hell will break loose. Look, I would tell you to buy Meta and Apple and Google, but every time I tell you to do that, the damn stock goes down. So I'm going to tell you not to buy them, and maybe they will go up. All right, it's amazing, isn't it? All right, let's take a quick look at the futures one more time and see what the day is signaling. Right now, we got the Dow is up 132, the S&P up 25, and the NASDAQ up 98. All right, let's get into the crypto scene. Crypto, once again, isn't moving much. Bitcoin is around 19,000. Ethereum is just above 1,300. And look, like I said before, this is not the place to have your money. You're going to get burned really bad if you stay here. Gold and silver. Gold is almost as low as 1650. I still think it's a better buy than silver. Silver's about 19 and a quarter right now, so I would put my money into gold. Treasury bond is about 4%. Like I said, I'd like to see this above 4% so the market can basically get used to it. Oil is about $90 a barrel, keeps creeping up, and the average gas price is about $3.92 and moving up. I want to thank everybody for watching the show. We are here live every morning at 7:30 on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And, of course, you can find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. My name is Larry Steinhouse. I am the host of Money Chat Now. I am the CEO of Investor Schooling. And remember, you can contact me directly at Contact Larry. That's contactlarry.com. All right, everybody, make it a profitable day.